Welcome to Visual Basic Inventory Management System. So let's enter the password. We just entered the wrong details in there and there. Okay, now let's give it a shot and enter the correct details. There. So it takes you straight into the system itself. This is the inventory management system. I already have a database that I use in generating all of this. And here I also have a tab control that shows you the rest of the information. So what I'll do now is to take you guys straight into Visual Basic 2015 development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now. Hi, this is Visual Basic tutorial of inventory management system. So let's start by clicking on new project right here. Okay, the next step is to make sure Windows Forms application is selected, and right here where it says name, give your project a name. I'm going to call it VB_ inventory. Okay, inventory system, or okay, inventory, that's fine, and click on save. Okay, now that my form is ready, I'm going to define the size of this form to be 1368, and let's make the height, let's make that 700. Okay, that's the form ready. The next thing I'll do is go to the tools right here, and I will select a tab control right here. Double click on my tab control. Now I have my tab control ready. I actually need 3 of those, so let's see if we can add more. One more there, and maybe change the back color of this tab. Let's just change it, instead of white, I think I'm going to change it to control. Let's change the color to control. Come right here and give each of them a name, really. Okay, now the back color, change that to control. Let's see if we can get control somewhere. There we go. And the second one, change the back color to from transparent to control as well. And finally the third one, change that to control right there. Okay, now let's give each of them a name. The first one, I'm going to change that to, let's go for customized details. Customer details, right? And the second one will be known as, let me call that default settings. Default settings. Then the third one, I'm going to call that, let's call that credit control. There. Okay, maybe we should change the font size. We can always do that here anyway. Let's select it all and just come in here and change the font. Let's change the font to something a little bit readable, 16. That's cool. And now let's set the size of about, okay, that's fine. Now the next thing I'll do is let me now enter a group box. Yeah, let's add a group box to this right here. We want the group box to be right on top of this. That's my group box right there, and just bring it down. Now the group box, let's add label. We need 4 of those. Yeah, 2, and we need 3 buttons really. So with that, I just want to create user login details. Now we need text box, we need 2 of those, and right here we just change this one to, that'll be our heading right there. Let me just call that inventory management systems, and maybe increase the font size to something readable, maybe 48. Yeah, that's fine. And right here, that will be my password, and that's reset. And here I have exit. Okay, let's just speed that up. Now that you guys get the idea, this is going to be username, and we have a password here. Alright, so let's make the interface look a bit more presentable. Okay, this is how the interface looks now. So let's double click on password right here and enter the following lines of codes. Okay, right in there. So we have the following lines of codes. Alright, those are just my password. You can always do something much better there than that. Then here, that will be my reset button. So let's just say txt. Okay, password.clear. So let's clear that. There. And we'll repeat the same thing for the other one. That's username. Okay, dot clear. There. Okay, the next one is to take care of the exit button, and we'll just enter as follows for the exit button right there, which you guys, I believe you can see that. Those are the lines of code for exit. When you click on exit, the system will actually prompt you to confirm if you really want to exit. Now, the next thing we want to do is, let's come down here. We need to import this very database. Let me get the database for you right here. These are the database that I've created, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to be using those 3. So this very first one, customers details, there they are. Those are the information that I need on my system for the customers, and you can always modify it and add more details of customers. And here we have the credit control. Then we also have new customers details right there. Okay, so what I would do next is to, let's move this aside, and right here I have my tab control. On the first one, the customers details, I'm going to need 13 labels and 13 text box. I need 13 of those. That's label 1. I'm going to need 13 of those, and I also need, so we can always just click, hold, and drag. Okay, so we also need text box. There we go. So now speed up the whole process. Okay, let's speed up the process of the interface design. Okay, right here guys, that's how my interface looks right now. But at this point, let's give this a try, because we haven't really tried it. Let's try it so that you guys see what I'm talking about. Close up the system. Let me delete this group box. Let's come right there and get rid of that. Group box 1, get rid of that. That's fine. So just run it and see how it looks like. Okay, let's enter our username. That's the username, and here we have the password. Click on that. There. So that's fine. Okay, let's close it and run it again. If you notice, when I run it, this one just shows stars. Let me show you how I achieve that. Right here, you see where it says char, I enter stars. Supposing I enter, let's say, /, and that's what you get in there. Okay, it's just to show you how that works. So let's run it again, and if I enter my password there, or yeah, password, and you can see, all right. So now exit, no, exit, confirm, yeah, that's fine. Okay, that is working. Let's come back to this password and change it to star. That looks a bit more professional. So let's come back and run the program one more time. Take it back up, enter my user details there. Now this time around I'm going to get it wrong purposely, and there. Okay, the system is telling you need to enter the correct details. I think I should ask the system to also clear it if the value enter is incorrect, and right here should set focus right there. Okay, now let's do that now. So let's go back in here, and right here where it says you have entered incorrect login details, I can just copy this, copy that, paste it right underneath here, and also set my focus txt or username dot, I think it's set focus, is it, or focus, let's see, yeah, it's focus. All right, that's it. So if I run it again, I enter the invalid details here. Yep, see that? So that's fine. Okay, we enter the correct details and the correct username there. Okay, the other thing is we now need to enter some buttons here. Let's create that now. Let's come back in here, just get tools. Now I'm going to need to move this one down again until I finish. I will not need that for now, so just move it right down. Okay, come in here, get button. So I'm going to need a couple of those. So odd here, so let's just speed that up. Okay guys, this is how it looks right now, right there. Let's move this up. I think let's just click on the form and get that sorted instead of me moving it. Click on the form, come to the property and go to where it says start position. Click on that and just make this start position center. Now run it. Okay, I now have my buttons in place right here. Okay, so now we need to give all of these components a name. Those text box, let's come in here, select this very text box and just call it txt. That will be txt ac, and this is txt name. So I will just speed that up. Okay, all of the components now have their own individual names, including the combo box here, and these buttons, or this one need a name as well. So let's call that end. Oh, that's btn exit. So instead of, okay, let's just call that btn end. Let's get that right. Okay, and here that has a name. Okay, they all have a name now, so we can always double click on this and just, I can copy this right here. Okay, copy that and paste it right in there. That's the exit code anyway. Alright, so that's taken care of. Undo that. There's a mistake there. Copy from here down and paste it in here. Alright, that is fine. I suppose you guys can see the exit code. Alright, let's come back in here. One more thing. I'm going to need, let's come in here and get a data gray view, this very one. Let's paste that in there. Okay, data gray view, and just extend it that much right there. Okay, And now you see this very small icon here. Or one thing is, we can always import the very data. Okay, we can import that. Let's see, if we click on, let's click on these first, or maybe these. Yeah, let's click on this and select this icon here, right, and just come to where it says choose data, and right there are the project data source. Okay, make sure the database is connected, and data sets, connect that's using access. You can always use SQL if you want. And right here, because it's going to be new connection, just click on new connection. I don't have any database on my system, so I'll click on browse, and right here have my database which you guys have seen earlier. Select it and click on open, and I'm just going to get rid of the admin. You can always test just to be sure that it's working correctly. That's fine for me. Click on OK. Now we click on next. This instruction or this dialog box is just telling you that the database will be saved inside your project file, so click on yes, and that is all. Click on next. Now the database that I intend to use is 1, 2, and 3, so I'm just going to check those 3 databases that I needed and just click on finish. But the first one that I'm going to be working on is customers details, so click on finish. There. Okay, now that the database is in, for this data grid view, I now need to select the table itself that I want on it. So right here, this is just click on this other data source, project data source, and drop this down, select the customers details. That's the one I want on my system, and that is the customer details right in there. So if I run the system, you will see the customer details right in there. Those are the customers details. Okay, all right, but there's something we need to do. We don't have the data in here, so we need to now connect all of these components. So to connect them, what we do is make sure you select the component right here. So I've selected this text box and come to where it says data binding. Drop that down, and now come to where it says text. Click on that, drop that down, and select the source. Or right here, I already have that in there anyway, so drop that down, just select AC. Okay, that's for AC selected. So for name, come here for name, drop that down and just select name. For address, repeat exactly the same thing. Postcode, and let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. And there, see, those ones are in. I notice one is missing. We can always take care of that anyway, and that's to do with the county. Okay, so let's close that. For the county that is missing, I think we have county here somewhere. Yeah, oh, there's town as well. Okay, so I'll take care of that and get back to you guys. Okay, now that I have the other 2 components in place, so let's just move that out properly. All right, so let's continue with attaching all of the columns in each of these components. So right here, select town. Okay, I don't think that has a name really, so let's see. There's no name on it, so let's just call out txt town, and the other one will be txt county. Okay, now that those are ready, so let's get the database in. Click on that. Okay, data binding, come to where it says text and select the component that you want. So right here I want town. There, town is in. Now repeat the same thing for county. County is in. I think we already have this. We already have the post box. Now we need that of contact details right there. VAT number, repeat the same thing for the VAT, no, wrong one, VAT right there. Okay, take it down and balance. There. Okay, now we want mobile phone or mobile number, telephone number, the phone number, then fax details. We want the fax, that will be right down here. Email, repeat the same thing for the email. The reason why I continue showing you how this is done is so that you guys make sure you get it right, because for the other two tabs I will just speed those up. Okay, the URL, and finally we have the account status. There, that is all of it done. So if I run the system now, right there guys, and that's how you create your own inventory management system. So we now need to, I'm going to just speed up these two, but before that let's write 1 or 2 lines of codes in here. Okay, so exit and just come right down here, right here. So the name of this, that is it right there. The name of our database is called customer details binding source. Maybe just copy that and just come in here, double click on add, and right there where it says add, paste that in there, enter dot, add new item right there. Okay, that's the new item taken care of. Now let's come to let's take care of next. First we do save separately, dot move next. Okay, now let's come to previous, dot move previous, and delete dot remove current. There. Okay, save, double click on that and just enter save. That is it right there. Okay, so those are the lines of codes. Suppose you guys can see it. Alright, so the system is now ready. So all I just need to now do is repeat exactly the same thing that I've done for these other 2 tabs right there. Okay, for the 2 tabs I'll get the component in. I think for those 2 tabs, let me show you the database, and right here is the database. So let's click on new customer. So for the new customer we need 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. We need 10 of those. Okay, that'll be 9, and this one are just a checkbox. Okay, so let's do that now. So I might as well copy all of these. Let's end this system and just copy this. We don't need 9. Okay, copy all of that, click on default setting and paste that in there. And the other one I need 13 as well, so we'll just rename the whole system. We need 13 of those, so let's just copy everything we have in the default, come right in there and paste there. So we just need to change the names and so on and rearrange it. Okay, those are the components in there. So So let's change the names. So I want the label to have the following name. So let's minimize this and start with those names. So this first one will be known as discount. Let me add to the property, discount in percentage. Okay, and the text box will be known as txt discount. Alright, so followed by add discounts or additional discounts. That is additional discount. And the text box will be known as additional discounts or add discounts. Let's call it add discounts. txt add discounts. Okay, so I'll just speed that up and get back to you guys. The rest of the components are now on the system, so what is left for me to do now is to now embed the database. So let's run it and you see what I'm talking about. Okay, we've taken care of this really, so just get rid of this. Alright, so if we come in here, click on the next one right here. See, all this information are from the previous table, and the same thing here. So this is how it looks. I think maybe I should add some buttons here and add some buttons here as well. So let's end it and come right here. Maybe copy some of these buttons. One, yeah, we may have to say previous. Okay, I think we just copy all of that buttons and just come in here and paste it right here. Okay, we can always minimize these buttons. Do about that and grab it individually. Alright, that is fine for this one, so I'm just going to copy that and go to the other tab, control this very one, click on the default setting and come right down here, paste that here. Maybe let's reduce this, add a group box. Let's add a group box in there, and right inside the group box we paste that. Just delete the group box name. Alright, so that should do it. That's fine. So that's okay now. Now the next thing is, because all of the data in there are the data from the customer details, so we select each individual component just like we did in the previous one and come to where it says data binding, drop it down, and that is supposed to be customer, no, that is supposed to be discount. So let's click on the tab there, and we don't need the customer data bounding source anymore. We now need to go into the order source, drop this down, and that's the name of our database. Drop that down. The one we need right now is the new customer. So with the new customer details, let's drop that down and see there, right there, discount. Okay, repeat the same thing for this one. And we need this as well, and that is discount. So this one is additional discounts. Okay, so I will just speed that up since you guys now understand the whole process. Okay, they now have their own individual field of the database, and this one, the checkbox, let's give that, repeat exactly the same thing for the checkbox, and right there have it there, override the product tax code on invoice. Let's change that to on invoice. On invoice, yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's done. Now the table itself. Now just click on this one. You understand the process anyway. Click on that, or you can just come right here, repeat exactly the same thing here. That is it, and there we go. Now we find it. That should be new right there. Okay, there we go, we found it. All right, so that is fine. So all I just need to do is to reduce the size. Okay, that's fine. So let's come in here and just add all of the data for this one as well. So this one is called credit details. So let's come down in here and look for credit details or credit control. Right, credit control, just paste that in there. That's supposed to be credit limit there. So I'll repeat exactly the same thing for the rest of the components. Okay, all of that is done apart from these ones here. So let's take care of these ones. I think I'll just group them, and it will make life easy for me to search for the other three. So let's group them together and come right here. We need, there we go, I think is this, yeah. So right underneath here is known as can charge credit. So they all have can charge credit. So when I click now, I should be able to get the table right there. So this is it. So that one is terms of agreement, and the other one is restrict email or mails, and that one is account on hold. Account on hold. So there, and that is that. So let's run it and see. Okay, so let's come in here. Those are all the information in here and here as well. So we now need these buttons to get them working. Okay guys, what we need to do is simple, because this data are missing, and this one I've just connected these. So now let's come in here. Okay, so we need the database for default setting, and that's supposed to do with that is default setting that's supposed to do with a new database. Okay, so what we need to do is as follows. Let's come into tools right here and get our data binding source, that very one. Double click on it and let's see where it is. That is it right there. Move this up. Okay, this data binding source. Now come here to the properties where it says, now let's deal with data source first. Data source will be, okay, I'll select this. That's fine. Now data member, select that. That'll be new customer. That's a new customer. I'll copy the name and just change the name of the binding, and just delete this, and there, that is the name. So I'm going to now copy that very name. I'm going to need those names for the, now come down here to the button there, double click on that. Should be able to get it to navigate now. Dot move next. Is that next? Yeah. And this one is dot move previous. Move previous. And then we have dot delete. Dot remove current. And here add new dot add new. Okay, now let's look for save. This is save. Copy that, paste this save in here. The save, so the content I want it to save is this. So copy that and replace it. Okay, so if I run my program now, see, this is how it looks for now. This seems a little bit too large. Okay, alright, so these are not doing anything. Oh, that's doing something. Okay, that's fine, it's working then. Okay, now let's have a look at the credit control. That's the credit control. So all you just need to do is to add your memo right there. Okay, so add your own information, whatever you want to add, and I would say that is how you create your own inventory system. Memo of inventory. Systems. Then the other one is we have this here. Okay, we need to have a look at that. Instead of false, that should be false. Okay, now we also need to come back in here. We need to now get our login details. So I'll close this, come straight in onto the form. Okay, that's the login details right there. So just move it up. I need it right on top. Okay, we just need to move this up. Let's take it right up there. Okay, and just drag this down. Okay, let's see how the whole system looks like right now. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's enter 1 2 3 4 5 6 and enter 1 2 3 4 5 6 and click there. So it's working now. So guys, with that I'm going to call it the end of this program. I suppose you all enjoy it, and this is how you develop your own inventory system using Microsoft Access database and Visual Basic 2015. So with that, I'll call it the end of this tutorial. Bye for now.